quadratic.
We thought it was quadratic. Remember, an exponent of 2 is quadratic. What is the exponent for an exponential? X, right? We need to remember that the exponent is x for an exponential. But we worked this out, and I know we need more practice with this for sure, but don't forget a square just means that we're multiplying that number times itself, or that expression. So, so what property did we have to use here in order to simplify that expression? What property? Going once, going twice. There we go, distributive, right? N times n was n squared. N times 2 was 2n. So I've now distributed that first n. Now I'm going to distribute the plus 2. So another plus 2n and plus 4. And notice because we were subtracting n squared minus n squared was 0. And we're left with 4n plus 4. Looked very different, looked quadratic initially, but it was actually linear once we simplified it. So again, equivalent. Different but the same.
That is so hard, because I would just add the n's and add the 2's, got n plus 4.
What?
That is so much work. Like,
This one?
yes.
So,
Because
It-
in my head, I did n plus n is n. 2 plus 2 is 4. N plus 4.
Oh yeah, that's what I was.
That's
why'd
what I
you
was-
do n plus n?
I don't know, really.
So remember, if we're squaring, what's happening between these two things? They're being multiplied, right? And the idea is if you had 3 times x plus 4, what do you know you would do?
Distribute
You
the 3 together.
Distribute. Why are we going to distribute?
Outside parentheses.
Yeah.
Nope,
Because
it's-
the 3's been multiplied
it's
by
being
that
multiplied, right? Because, and the reason why I say no is you need to be careful. Like in this case, I'm not going to distribute that 3. It's outside the parentheses, right? You only distribute multiplication and division. You only distribute multiplication and division. And so when we are multiplying here, I have to distribute both of these things. Okay? Another way that you can see it, and I'm not going to go through all this work, but you can look at it like this, is you can take this first n and multiply it by the n plus 2. And then you would see it more clearly that you're supposed to distribute that n. And then you would take your plus 2 and multiply it by n plus 2. And then you can see that that's the second 2 being distributed as well. So if that helps you see it a little bit better, that's something to be aware of. Huh? I mean, then don't do it that way, do it the first way. But we'll get more practice with that. Okay, so we have a little over 10 minutes. Hopefully we can get pretty far within this part. This one should be more straightforward. So now we are looking at this visual or pictorial representation of the scenario where this class officers, I think, were telling the people within their class about who won homecoming king. And so number of days that have passed, so 1 day has passed, how many people found out about the results?
2.
I think I covered it up, covered one up. Remember, you should also have your textbook out already.
Lexi doesn't have a textbook.
Well, then go borrow a blank one for now.
Just finished.
It does say it here.
1 or 2?
1, there we go. So, and take notes. All right. So yeah, notice on day 1, how many people knew? 3.
What?
3.
Oh.
Okay. And then so on day 2, 6, right? So keep it going, fill out that table, answer the questions, but I think this one should be a little bit more straightforward. We don't have to spend as long with it. So work with your group, and let's get to work.
Okay, because this is percentage.
Say again.
I don't think it's multiplied by 3.
You only need volume 1 right now.
In general, like look.
I'll tell you if that changes.
Each one, no, 2, so then it's 6.